Hi guys, and welcome to the first episode of this year podcast unknown. Action!
Welcome everybody to the first podcast ever. The first episode of random guys talking. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a random guy. He's a random guy.
we're all randoms,
we all nobodies.
unknowns, secret people.
Alright, so my name is Vincent.
My name is Thimmy.
People call me Vince, and this is my friend Thimmy. And we've been best friends since we were very young, and then we drifted apart.
Yeah. Now we're connecting back as you speak.
just for this podcast, and then we never.
Yeah, and then we're never gonna. This is like the only thing we're gonna do, and then I'm off. I'm going to Malta. I'm like, fuck this shit. No, but it's super interesting because I was talking about doing a podcast with Vincent, also for myself. But then we were kind of like deciding to do it together, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I never done podcasts. I just like watch a lot of podcasts and people talk. So
Yeah, me too.
I just thought it would be a funny thing to like reconnect with my friend.
Yeah.
Talk
I'm
about-
mostly here also for the wine.
Yeah,
We have some wine here.
this is some high quality shit.
I'm actually an alcoholic, so I'm just here for the wine. No, but to get serious, back to business. So also, this podcast is gonna be about general speaking about like nu tar vi bort mig med typ så här topics som fun.
We're not
No!
cutting. We're not cutting anything. This is it's all gonna be raw,
Yeah.
uncut,
Raw material.
and that was Swedish. We're both Swedish
Yeah.
people, and
No translation. So yeah, but I think you were saying something to me about before we're starting. You said that you wanted to talk about like people, like in general in this world, like a lot of people are posting things on Instagram, Facebook, on social medias and stuff, and they want to get to know more. Like they want to have, what's the name?
So like what you're talking about is that they're seeking like the attention,
like
and
attention, yeah.
they want
And
to feel important or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I used to be that kind of guy when I was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Not even a year ago, but like maybe 2-3 years ago. I was like, should I have to post something? I want people to like my pictures. Which just like,
yeah.
I was just being stupid. Like,
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, there's no point in doing that. And sometimes a lot of my friends, like you know them.
Yeah.
They be sending me pictures because I know Photoshop, so I know how to Photoshop a little bit.
Okay.
So they send me pictures and they want me to like edit out like a dog or something.
Yeah.
And
For just Instagram, right?
yeah, just for Instagram.
For them, like attention.
Yeah.
Not for doing anything like for a business or
Yeah. Just like for the
get
for
you
the-
out somewhere. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's pretty weird. Yeah, I think it's also it's like has to do with like dopamine in your head because you're getting rewards.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like addictful. So each time you like post something on social medias, you will get like this sensation that you feel like worthy. I think that's mostly the thing. Also, I think in the Western society, like people don't give each other too much compliments. I think in the Eastern society, like people can go to the street and like say like, "Oh, you look handsome," or like stuff like this. But they still have, when I think about it, they still have this even more crazier, like, you know.
Yo, China is crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
and like South Korea, we were talking about South Korea
yeah.
and Japan. That's like even more viral, like posting, and they're more connected actually. Like
They are. Like, I think the internet is. I think South Korea has the best internet.
yeah, for sure.
overall. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
Chinese people, since I'm Chinese, I know,
Yeah.
and they are on their social media like every day,
Yeah.
posting stuff.
Yeah. But I think
They-
yeah.
They do a lot of like stupid challenges. like
Like
these-
what?
Oh, have you seen like the makeup thing?
No.
So like there's a lot of Chinese women
Yeah.
that they first show up in front of the camera without makeup,
Oh, okay.
and then no they have makeup on, like full
Yeah,
makeup. They
okay.
look very beautiful,
Yeah.
and then they remove the makeup,
Okay.
and it just like it's a completely different person. And
Like uglier or what
Yeah.
do you mean? Like yeah.
yeah, pretty
Wow.
much super
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. It's super
yeah.
bad.
But is it really like yeah. But yeah, do you think the makeup yeah, I don't know. I think also it depends which kind of like person that you attract to, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I like girls without makeup more than the girls with like a lot of makeup, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
But I think so. What's the competition? I don't understand.
oh no, it's not
Like
a
you won. You're the ugliest. You're so fucking ugly. You won.
no,
What?
no, it's not a competition. It's a challenge. So
Mm.
they do it just to like showcase how great of makeup artists they are or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
just,
Oh okay. Yeah.
So like normal girls
Yeah.
do makeup on themselves and then they remove it to show that they're.
But that's in China.
Yeah, that's in China. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
strange. Yeah. But that's yeah. But that still is like some skills in it. You know.
There's a lot of skills.
So
Like,
that's still like something that you can be a little bit proud of. Than to just like
I guess.
like most people that's famous on Instagram, they just like post picture of them, like their ass or like just their like with a lot of makeup on, and like it's not really they don't do anything.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
They don't have any skills. They just like they're good looking, and then
Good
They get,
looking,
like,
have a great body. Then
yeah, then you have like. If you're lucky, you can get like 1 million followers. If you post your ass, I'm gonna start posting. I'm gonna do it. No, but really, like I was talking about my girlfriend about this, and I said it's strange, like nowadays, to be like a young, like girl. If you're on Instagram every day and you see like what people are like, the most people who has the most followers. Like for girls, for example, it's like mostly when they post picture of their ass.
yeah,
That's like they don't even have a skill anymore. They just like maybe it's always been like this, but it's a little bit weird, you know, like they don't have skills.
but
You know what I mean?
social media, you don't need skills. for
Yeah,
social
but
media.
sometimes like you know some people post like something like they can be funny, they can be doing like songs, they can play instruments.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
they are like, you know, travelers, they're explorers, they're like yoga, they could be like practitioners in like a
Influencer.
movement. Not really influencers, but like, you know what I mean? Like some people are just posting things that they like. They're not like influencers. And then people call them like they're influencers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So fuck Instagram. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
I love Instagram, man.
Yeah, it's still cool. Like I think to get back to what we're talking about first is that I think it has to do with like in the brain, like dopamine and all these like rewards
I
in
guess,
general. But also like everybody, it's even with relationships. I think for me, for example, I remember when I was without the girlfriend for like 3 years, and then I came back to Sweden, and then I like met this girl. We hooked up. Now we're together, and now it's kind of like you're feeling this empty space that someone is like kind of like they see you. You know what I mean? In a way, kind of like Instagram. If you post something,
Yeah.
you get like these rewards. Like you have someone that like tells you, "Oh, you're pretty. You like this. You like that."
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So it's kind of like filling up this like empty space. But on
Right.
Instagram, you need it like because people need it so often. you know
Okay,
what
I
mean?
get it. I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe some people are just like, you know, to have good like memories on people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm like that
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. Also, some kids are like more, like they're more sticking out, like they're more crazy, and then you will remember them.
Like you.
Yeah, like you, apparently. Yeah, but I don't know if you were like crazy.
I wasn't crazy. I
No,
wasn't
but
crazy.
you were still like how do you say it? Like you weren't crazy, but you had like you still had a lot of things going on. You know what I mean?
I stuck out with my ethnicity.
No,
I'm
you had
kidding,
the you had the one Mai, 2 Asians. And
No,
then,
I don't know. They were just like,
yeah, but there were not too many Asians in our school.
yeah. I mean, I didn't do all the crazy stuff. I did some crazy stuff. I got like, they always called my parents like
Yeah,
every week.
yeah, typical. Like
Like
for me.
every week they just called my parents.
Yeah, but was that in the 6th grade?
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
from sixth grade to until like 9th grade.
Oh, okay. I was just in mostly in 6th to 7th
really?
grade. Like super like the calling. I remember my dad told me this is like pretty weird. Like so they were like basically calling my parents like every week, and then my dad was like, "Can you stop fucking call me to the teachers?" He's like, "I'm having a real job. Let me do my job. I don't care if my kid like are like crawling under the table. Like, call me if he like punch someone. It's something
Yeah,
serious, like this kind of stuff. But I mean, like you're like." You have all this teacher here. Why are you not like doing anything? If he's crawling, like take him out or something. Like,
Yeah.
why are you calling me? Like he's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, it's not even my son. No, but like that's like yeah, it's funny.
That's crazy times. Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but you always been like the crazy guy.
yeah,
Like in my
yeah.
eyes-
But I had a period like I was I remember actually like from even from 1st grade to 9th grade I was like the person who was like doing a lot of jokes and like
Yeah.
goofing around and stuff. But then it came to a point when like people were like saying like, Timmy, do something funny.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like feeling like are they only hanging out with me because I'm like doing funny stuff, or is it also for my like personality, you know, in other ways? But then I was like, and then I came to high school. I was like, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna be like a new person, because then you had the chance to like nobody knew you. I was like lucky. I didn't not lucky, but I was like ending up in a school where I didn't know anyone. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a new person.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was hanging out with like wrong people, more or less like criminals, for a while. And then I was like super like serious, and I never didn't want to do like too many jokes and stuff. And I wanted to have this like not like bubble, but like, you know what I mean, like to be like
You wanted to be by yourself? Or
no,
like,
not to be by myself, but more or less like be this person that doesn't like are laughing or like, you know, all doing the sides that I would do
it's
before.
not the clown basically.
Yeah, like that. But I was still a clown.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You can't change your personality, man.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think you can a lot. I think, like, for example, this girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but like, she had a boyfriend before, and then she's very shy girl in general, and they were like doing a lot of drugs. She had very bad confidence. Just have like low self-esteem and stuff. But now, like, when she was hanging out with me, I'm not saying it's my
Thanks to you.
yeah, everything is thanks to me. But I'm saying like even for me during that time when I was saying I was like kind of like hanging out with bad people, doing a lot of shit. I was after school. I was like hanging out with another guy who inspired me to change, like to be another person in general.
No, yeah, for sure. Like you can always become a better person, and you can always change. But I'm just saying, like in general, like the core, how you are as a person.
Oh yeah.
So you're always been the funny guy.
Yeah, sure.
And
yeah.
You're not gonna change to be like the
boring
super
guy.
serious and
Yeah.
yeah, the boring guy. You're not gonna be
Yeah.
a super serious guy just because,
Yeah, for sure.
like-
For sure.
unless something like major is happening in your life.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, but I think like a lot of people are afraid of changing.
Yeah.
Like they are too like they want to be in the safety net too much, and
They're too comfortable with themselves, and then they don't want to change. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I remember I said I was smoking a lot of weed when I was like in high school, and some parts like for a while when you're not open-minded to change. I remember they were like happening a bad thing when I was like smoking. I get like super paranoid. That's like a long fucking story. And then
Tell us.
no, it's too long. But I'm just gonna say it like, and then I remember when I quit smoking, I was like feeling weird about it. I was like, but I'm this person who's a smoker. So you get like, and then my friend later on, he said something like, some people are so afraid of changing, blah blah, and all this stuff. And I was thinking about this. I was like, but why am I like getting stuck to one thing? Like, why should I be like this or that or that? I think it's just always changing, and that's like part of life if you want to like be happier and
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. You have to evolve as a person.
Yeah,
I mean, that changed a lot too. I don't know if you.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
I feel like you noticed.
Yeah.
I'm a completely
Like I can see
different.
that on a painting. I'm just gonna like, so like I told you, Vincent was like a little bit shy and stuff, but now he was like doing all these workouts, hanging out with rappers and all this shit. He's wearing like there's Vincent.
That's me. That's me.
This is his friend.
That's Biggie, man.
Yeah, I know, man. But yeah, I feel like you changed because you didn't wear glasses like this shape. Yeah. So, no, but I feel like you changed a lot with confidence.
I changed a lot with confidence.
Yeah,
I
I
was-
can.
I
Like,
was
I'm
super awkward.
actually very inspired by that. Like,
I was
seriously.
super awkward. I was super. I was so shy and.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
I don't know why, but it's mostly because of my dad. I think
Mm.
because I mean you met my dad.
Yeah.
And he
I met
always-
him, like, he wasn't like. I met him like twice, something.
Yeah,
He
but
was
he's
super
always
young.
trying to like challenge me, and
Mm.
he always tells me like how to be a better person and
Wow.
those kind of stuff. So he was like don't be afraid of like why are you so shy? Don't be afraid of to talk to people.
Yeah.
Like even with like languages, and
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be afraid of speaking another language which is not your language.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
True.
mean, we Swedish, right? We
Yeah.
speak Swedish, and so we shouldn't be afraid of speaking English, which is not our native tongue. So
Yeah. For sure.
so he would just like telling me all these kind of stuff, and it's like get stuck in in the back of my head. And then I went like abroad, and abroad changed me.
Yeah. Where did you go first?
No, I went to China to study Chinese.
Wow. Yeah. Where?
In Shanghai.
Cool.
So that
Because
was like
why? Like, why did you go to China?
the reason why I went there was because of I couldn't continue studying in Sweden. Like I had to wait for a semester before my next courses, and so.
But why did you pick like China is big? Why did you pick Shanghai?
The reason why I picked Shanghai is because my mom is from Shanghai.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that was the reason why, and I know the dialect a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I understand it, and I have
yeah, it's easier.
I have family there, so
Yeah, it's way easier. Yeah.
so that's why I went there.
That's so cool. Yeah.
And also my uncle went there, so I've been like following my uncle's route,
Oh yeah.
like career route. So
Wow. But so tell me more about your studies after you pour this. Yeah. This wine is fucking awesome, man. Yeah, no commercial. It's
brand deal.
red.
Yeah, no. So I went to China, studied Chinese for half a year, and I would say I got so much better in Mandarin, which I didn't know anything before.
You didn't know?
I mean, I knew it like a little bit. I've
Yeah.
seen some videos. I've seen some.
I remember.
some
I
movies
remember
and-
those the Dragon Ball videos, but they were like Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese stuff.
Yeah. So
At my
cool.
place.
Yeah, man. I
Oh.
had one I don't know if they were like a CD, but like super small CD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I sold it for millions. No, but like I remember it was so cool to come to go to Vincent because like every time I was there, he had all these like like Pokemon mangas and all this like super cool stuff I don't know if you bought it from China, right? You must have like your parents something.
No, like what? Like all the movies, yes, but like the Pokemon cards and those are bought in Sweden.
Oh, really?
But like a lot of like
you're not cool
figures.
Anymore, man.
No, but like the action figures, I got it from China.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So I'm still cool.
Yeah, you're still cool. But and then where did you go? Like you study Mandarin to get back to your roots, right? To feel your roots a little bit.
As I wrote on my latest cover letter, I went back. It was to Spotify, by the way.
Oh wow!
So I went to China to reconnect with my God-given, birth-given culture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
cool. Yeah.
Which is China.
Yeah. And then did you? But you went to China like when you were young, but also when you were a teenager, right?
Yeah, I went there when I was like 6 years old, and then I went there when I was maybe 15 or something.
Yeah.
And
but it's still different when you go as an adult.
It's so different. It's also different when you travel by yourself.
Yeah.
Which you've been doing a lot.
Yeah. That's like I highly recommend everybody to go like abroad by yourself, like traveling by yourself, because it's just another level of traveling, and also like to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's like I think, like you said, like that's also for me like changed me and you like to get more confidence, like speaking to others and stuff.
Yeah, and it does change your like perspective and in like viewing different things.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
Also like to be like like the thing that I like the most about like traveling by myself is that you kind of like have to adapt, and then you like it's just this kind of like, also you do everything by yourself, like all the visas and all this stuff. If you travel like backpacking, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because you've been doing that a lot, right?
Yeah. So but man, when I was in China, it was so fucking crazy. Like I remember I was inspired by this person that I said before, who was talking about about like changing and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking cool guy, Matthias Filian.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like I never met him, but like.
Yeah, actually, he's like an actor and stuff. Maybe I don't know.
All right.
But
connections.
Yeah. and we were like traveling together first. We flew to Thailand, did like Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and then Vietnam. And
you're a sex tourist?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was the sex tourist, ja. Ich bin eine German, ja. Wer ist der Asian guys? Where are them? Tell me. No, but like that's what we're like screaming all the time. And where are you? What's your security number? Sell me. No, but and then and then I remember when he left, because he had a girlfriend in Sweden, and he went back, and I was like by myself, and then I was like man, Southeast Asia is so easy to travel.
Yeah. Like
to be backpacking. And I was like, I want to have a fucking challenge.
All right.
And then people say, go to fucking China, man. Because like the language barrier is so high if you're in like small towns. Yeah, like this. If you're in Beijing, yeah, of course, like, but still in Beijing, like so many people like from the small towns and stuff, they're moving to the like bigger cities.
Yeah.
And some people have never been to school. Maybe they have been to school, but it's still like you have to learn Mandarin, like all these letters and stuff. It takes ages. So a lot of people can't even read, but they can speak it.
Yeah.
In China. So it's like so interesting. And I remember actually I went from kind of like Thailand to Sweden by land and water.
Really?
Yeah, I went Southeast Asia up to like Kunming in China, Beijing, and then I went to Mongolia by trains. Everything is like by train and buses.
Yeah.
And then I I stayed, of course, in like China and also in Mongolia, and then I went with the Trans-Siberian Railway all the way to to Moscow, and then Finland, and then I took the boat over to Sweden.
Like the cruise.
The Finnish cruise. That's where like Swedish people get wasted. That's the if you want to get like over the limits, if you don't even want to know your name, that kind of drunk, go to a Finnish boat. You don't even have to go to Finland. Just go with the boat.
Just do the cruise. Drink a lot, and
then you can say you've been to Finland, because that's kind of like Finnish culture. No, but that was like back to China. That was like so cool.
Yeah,
because also China is just like, for me. I remember I went to Kunming, right, and then the only like English sign that I saw for 5 days was it stood Kunming railway station.
All right.
That's it. Like nothing on like menus.
Yeah.
Nothing. So it's kind of like for me as going to like another planet, basically. Like the letters are not even like something that you can guess. And like, but people are so friendly. Like all these people.
Because you know why? Because they see you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, a white person.
Yeah, I think. Not. Do you think if you have let's say if a fat German like with sandals and socks and like you can see his like belly's out and shit, and he comes to like China, do you think he will like people will get like super interested in him, like in the same way as like if I will go like a young guy, you know what I mean?
Like hard question. Like for the scenario that you just told me, Chinese people love fat people, right? Like,
fat people?
No, they love to make fun of fat people.
Yeah.
So if you see a fat white dude walking around, they would be like, "Oh, look at a fat white boy." Chinese people are so racist.
Then yeah, I know, but then Americans don't go there. No, I'm kidding, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like I remember many people, like my grandfather, for example, when he was in Beijing. But that's like like if you go to capitals in general, or like the bigger cities, you will
cities are big cities.
Yeah, then people would be like unfriendly in general. But he was like, oh yeah, Chinese. Like in Beijing, they were like spitting everywhere. They were like unfriendly because you didn't speak like Mandarin.
Yeah.
But then I also get to know that side. But I also got to know a lot with the other side. Like I remember. Actually, this story is pretty fucking crazy.
Alright, tell us. Spill the tea.
Like this story is gonna take long.
Alright, go ahead. We got time.
Alltså den här storyn kommer ta fett lång tid. Har vi batterier för det här? We have batteries for it?
No, it's still working.
Oh, nice. All okay, right. Cool. So, this is my... Dude, I have to take my shirt off.
It's getting serious.
This is getting fucking serious. This is crazy. So, like I said, I was in Southeast Asia, and I was like, fuck, this is like too easy. And I wanted to do like I also always, since like I met Vincent when I was young, actually when I was like 5, I wanted to be Chinese.
Wait.
Yeah, it's true. I remember.
Wait.
Yeah.
No, the funny thing is when you're telling me this is when I was young.
Yeah.
I wanted to be you.
Really? Maybe because like we were like fascinating by our like cultures and stuff.
I guess no. Yeah, the reason why I was feeling that way was because I mean, growing up in Sweden, I knew that I was different.
Yeah.
And then you were so cool. You were just like, oh, this super cool white dude.
Yeah.
Just walking around and like being friends with everyone. And I was like, oh shit, I want to be like Thimmy.
Yeah.
And also, you guys have like you and Matthias and whatever. You all had like a Swedish like a second name.
Oh yeah.
Right.
True.
I felt left out, and I told my mom about it, and I asked my mom to give me a second name.
Really? She was like,
I mean, I had a second name, but I was Chinese.
Oh yeah.
So it was my Chinese name.
Yeah.
In like the Arabic letter. No, is it Arabic? No, it's not.
What do you mean Arabic letter?
Just like normal letters, not Arabic.
Oh yeah, like Latin.
Is it Latin?
Yeah, Latin. Yeah, it is. Yeah, of course it is,
Greek?
man.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's Latin. Like if you write the way we write is Latin.
No, I think it's somewhere else, like India or something. Maybe not India.
No, it's Latin. I'm like 100% sure. Yeah, like we're still like in the European like language, and that's like Latin. Because in Ukraine, for example, it's still Europe, but they have
the Russian
the Cyrillic.
All right.
Cyrillic, but that's not Latin. But anyway, it's funny. And then I was like super into like China, and I always like, because my grandmother is like my biggest inspiration. She's been traveling for maybe 80 countries, and she came from like poor Hungary. Like she was fleeing from a civil war when she was like 16 with a baby on her back.
Your mom?
My grandmother.
Your dad?
No, my grandmother. Min mormor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
No, but you were talking about.
No,
baby.
with her, my mom's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
like what your grandma?
Yeah,
your grandma.
My grandmother was carrying my grandfather. They didn't know they were together, but they were carrying each other. And she always showed photo of like China and terracotta army. Oh, yeah. And I was always like inspired, and I was always fascinated because I'm so into like history, and China has all this history, like it's crazy, from the Silk Road and all these like empires and stuff. And then I decided to go there, and I was like, fuck, okay, I have to go to China and see it for myself. Also to the Great Wall. And I was gonna get a visa in Nam, like Vietnam. Yeah. And then this story is historic, man. So I'm going like on the night train, from, I don't know the city now, and to
like
Ho Chi Minh. Yeah, I'm going to the north because I know they have a Chinese embassy there.
I think I've heard a little bit of the story, but yeah. Continue.
Really?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, really? Yeah. And then in the train, I'm just gonna like say this also. I woke up in the morning and I'm waking up. I'm going in the hall right outside. Yeah. And I can see this old man. And then I'm like looking at him. He's like smiling. And then I'm like looking back. I'm sitting down. And then he comes to me. He's like approaching me in my train. I'm in my train cabin, so I'm alone. Okay. Like I'm looking out at the window. And he's like doing like this to me. He's never seen like a white person. I don't know if he never saw. Maybe he was just gay or something.
No. I think he never seen a white person.
Maybe because he was like doing like this on my hair. Like,
wait, because were you? Where was that? You were from Ho Chi Minh going.
I was kind of like from the center of Vietnam to
up north.
To north. Yeah. So maybe he was like a farmer, and then he was doing something like he was going up to the north. But it was so interesting, and then he was like touching my beard, and he was saying something in Vietnamese, and then I was speaking English, but he didn't understand it, so I was like changed into Swedish, and I was like, man, du ser jävla galen, you're fucking crazy, man, you're like, and he was saying something to me, and then we were like laughing, and then he gave me something in a banana leaf. I think I ate dog.
Rice?
I think I ate dog or something.
Why?
Because I never seen the texture of this meat and the color and all this. It was so strange.
No, but like it was in a banana leaf, right?
Yeah, but it was meat.
With rice?
No.
Just meat?
Yeah, it was something meat, but it was like, maybe, I don't know, it could be like a monkey or like a rat.
No,
it was just no man. So. Like I know my meat. Like I know.
But you don't know Chinese meat. Like the thing is, when
I know Chinese some meat. I know what you mean now.
Yeah, like you can process the meat.
Yeah, it's like crazy process. It's like, don't eat this stuff, but it's still good. But I don't know. This was like, it looked supernatural, but the texture was so weird, and there were like no spices.
All right,
and
so
I was like,
dog meat.
and I was like, and I was chewing this. And then I was like, because I'm raised that you have to eat everything you get served. Because it's like disrespectful. And I was chewing. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like almost puking. And then I was like, thank you. And he was like, more? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, and I was eating like 5 of them.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like, I have so hard to say no.
Why don't you just like no, like full whatever?
I was doing it, but he was like, keep.
Alright.
I didn't want this.
Was it savory or like sweet or how was it?
It was kind of like a little bit fatty, but it still had. It was like this weird color of like, I don't even know. It was like you could see through it almost.
But that's the fat.
Yeah, I know, but it was super fatty and stuff. But it was just weird. But then I came to like, anyway, back to the story. I came to like to the Ho Chi Minh, right? And I'm like there, and then I'm like hurrying to the embassy, to the Chinese embassy directly. I'm going there, and it's Friday, and they're closing like super early.
Mm-hmm.
And then this like guards standing outside with weapons and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, we're closed."
All right.
And I'm like, "Fuck." I have to. Do you remember this story?
No, I don't know this.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. And then I was like, "Oh shit, I have to," because like Swedish visa in Vietnam, you get like 15 days for free because we had a prime minister, Olof Palme, who like stood up for the Vietnam War. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Big up, Olof. Legend.
Rest in peace.
He's a legend. And then I was like getting a little bit stressed because I only had like some days to get the visa and everything because my visa is gonna expire and stuff. And I was like, fuck. And then I was partying like 3 days. I came on Monday, like early in Monday, and I had to do all this like paperwork and shit. I was standing in the line and all this crap.
Yeah.
And then I had to get like a printing service. I came back, they're closed.
Yeah.
It's like Vietnam. I'm like, what is this? It says it's open. And he said, yeah, we're closed. And I'm like, okay. And he said, we're open 3. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, so you went there like for lunchtime?
Yeah. No, I came in the morning, and then I came like, maybe it was like lunchtime or something.
Yeah, because in Asia they close at lunch.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And then I came, he said, yeah, come 3. And I said, okay, I have some paper. And then I came there like 3, they're closed. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm getting like super stressed, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I'm like partying again. I'm like waking up like so early in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm going there, and then we have this lady, this fucking lady. She's like evil. She's just pure evil, this lady. I don't know. Like some people just pick jobs that they have, like some policemen or like guards that I think they have like control of, like they have like this need of like controlling people and power. Yeah. And I'm going there, and she said, yeah, my manager is gonna like
look at your files.
Look at my files and like approve this.
All right.
And I would be like, okay. And then she gave me this small note, and I was like, okay. It's like super weird. It looks like a fake paper. It's just a paper. It says something. And I'm like, okay, and then I have to wait. And then I have 1 more day, or 2, maybe, I think, yeah, something like that, until my visa expired.
Mm.
So I'm like, I have to get my visa. Otherwise I have to leave the country, right? So I'm like partying again. And I'm like, the next day I'm standing in the line in the morning, and like all these people. And then once I'm there, she said, yeah, my manager didn't approve it.
Okay.
And then I'm like, why? And she said, yeah, you need to have train ticket if you are gonna go like by land, and if you have the train ticket, you need to have an invitation letter. But if you go by plane, you need to have a hotel booking.
Yeah.
But you can't have a hotel booking and have a train ticket, for example.
All right. All right.
Like, why? And then I'm like talking to her, and I'm saying like, yeah, but I can't buy the train ticket before, like, I need to have the visa to buy the train ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
really?
It was like this in this situation
for China.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then she's doing like this on the glass when I'm speaking to her.
Yeah.
And I have like, now I have control over myself more, but during that time, this is like almost 4 years ago, I had all this ADHD in me, like aggression, and I was like screaming to her, because like Because imagine if you're super stressed and someone is like talking to you so disrespectful.
Yeah.
And she's doing like smashing the window when you're talking like this.
Yeah.
Like who does this? Like it's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a person. Treat me like a person. La la la, and screaming there. And then the guards are taking me out. They're like, I'm like, oh, they're like taking me out. I'm like, let me go. All this drama and in this country, like we're in a communist country. It's still a communist country.
Yeah.
You don't ask questions.
Yeah, you don't.
You follow the line. And I didn't understand this shit because I'm from Sweden. Like in Sweden, you can have all this like special service and all this shit. And then I was like super stressed. I booked like a expensive train, like a cab to the train station.
Mm-hmm.
I went there and I'm like begging them. I'm like, please, like do something like, can you write like a paper that says like, yeah, Thimmy is, he's buying this train ticket to get the visa and all this in Vietnamese, right?
Yeah.
And then, and she does it. I had to pay like a fee to get it. I'm going back to the embassy, the Chinese embassy. I'm standing in the line. And before I stand in the line, the guard come to me. He's like, you take it easy. And I'm like, he has like this fucking weapon on him. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm chill. And then I'm standing in the queue. And then I'm the second before like one is in front of me. Mm-hmm. And then I can see her like looking at me like angry. And then she goes away. And then she calls the guards again. Okay. And the guards take me. They're like take me. I'm like, here's the train ticket. I'm like taking it. It's like a movie. I'm like taking it to the window. I'm like, here's the train ticket. And I'm like, ah! And they're like forcing me out with like force, and like throwing me outside the embassy. And my heart beats like. I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do now? Like, I'm basically fucked because I have to leave the country. Yeah. And I've been to Laos, I've been to like Thailand. I didn't want to go back because I was there for like 1 month. And then, and then I'm like, going back fast to a travel agency. And I never booked like through travel agencies because I mostly like booked like local stuff. And then she's like, yeah, this is the train ticket to Laos, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm looking in my wallet. I'm like, fuck, I'm missing out like cash. So I'm going to the ATM. And then I'm going to the ATM like around the corner. And then I'm putting in my MasterCard. And I'm like super stressed.
Yeah.
Trying to take out money. And the card gets stuck.
Okay.
This is the same day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, shit, what am I gonna do? Like, my heart is like, I'm getting all this like fucking paranoid because I only have like one credit card. I don't know why I only bring one credit card. I'm all like a beginner of like traveling.
That was the first time you went.
Yeah. And then and then one Vietnamese guy is sitting like outside and he's like, bank. And I'm like, okay. And it's like ANC, it's an Australian bank. I'm going there. And then
ANC?
Yeah.
CA?
Nah, maybe ANC. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. And then they have the worst service ever. I'm thinking it's like a Western bank. I'm going there. They're sitting in the reception. And I have to take their like phone and call a service number.
Okay.
They don't even call for you. Like,
because they didn't know.
No, they could speak English,
okay.
But it didn't speak like super well. But they still know my situation.
Yeah.
And then the guy is saying like, yeah, maybe your card can get out today. We are gonna call a guy. And like to remember, I still have to leave the country, right?
Yeah.
Like tomorrow.
You have to leave the country.
Yeah.
Your card gets stuck, and that's the only card you have.
Also from the embassy.
And you didn't have cash in it or anything.
No, nothing.
So like, if you didn't get your car back, you would be fucked.
Yeah, I'd be so fucked. Yeah. Oh, shit, man. I didn't even think about that. It's like super fucking serious. And then I'm like calling him, and he said, yeah, maybe 4. I'm getting like fucking like my stress level is like the highest I ever been.
Right.
I'm like in this cafe like with this Dutch girl that I actually dating like dated some months later.
All right.
And then they call me and they say, we can
wait, sorry.
Yeah.
So is this the Dutch girl that you were dating?
After.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you went to like Netherlands and whatever.
Yeah, but yeah. No, I was going to Netherlands, but then I didn't date her back then. But then after like 1 year later, we were like keeping contact on Facebook, and then we're like, that's kind of like cool story too, because I surprised her in Berlin.
Yeah.
Like she didn't even know. But anyway, back to the story.
Yeah.
And then and they said in the service phone, they were like in the service like phone call, they said, yeah, we can take out your card, but you have to pay for it.
How do you pay?
Yeah, like later if they take it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like if your card like your card machine is swallowing my card, should I pay for it? It's like, it should be your responsibility to have a fucking machine that works for the first case. And it's also like an Australian bank. But anyway, I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to pay it. But also I'm like super stressed. So you get like more aggressive, you know, like,
Yeah.
and all these like things happening.
Dude, I would end up in jail.
If that
was me, I would end up in
I was
jail.
so fucking angry.
I
And then
would be like punching the card.
yeah. And then finally, like 4 o'clock, they took out my card. I took out money in another. I was so fucking stressed. I was like, please. Putting in my card, take out money. I pay for the bus journey to Laos. But I've been to Laos before.
Yeah.
And this is not stopping here.
Yeah.
This is a long story.
No, continue.
Like five more minutes.
Continue.
Okay, cool.
This is funny.
Yeah, this is crazy. So, and then I'm booking through the travel agency, and then we like all these Westerners going into this like VIP bus. They always like saying VIP bus, but it's actually like they have Wi-Fi, they have like television, but they have nothing. They have like AC. It's still a good bus if you compare it to like Sweden. But this bus, it's like this size of a bed.
So
for
it's
me,
like
one
a night.
yeah, it's a night bus.
Yeah.
And it's 30 hours bus ride.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm getting all this and in Southeast Asia, what they do like to mostly with like buses, they take out all your stuff in the luggage room in the lower like part of the bus, and they take them up in the rooftop, and then they put their stuff in the lower thing.
Yeah.
And then they like make deals or like business or like to a cousin or something when they're doing like the trip, you know. So it takes like 4 or 5 hours more just because they wanted to do all this business like on the side. And everybody knows this, so it's chill, like it's part of it.
Yeah.
And then we're on this like this bus, and we're doing like the best of it. We're like chilling, like all these like people in the bus, and then we're going all the way. I'm getting a little bit stressed because of that with package stuff, because I'm thinking of like maybe if I get like overstayed, you know, by the time.
Yeah.
So I have to pay, you know. But eventually we go to Laos. I didn't have to pay. The guard was like super chill. I'm like, whew, finally, oh my god, I can rest. And I'm like we're going, it's daytime. We're going like in some part of Laos. And then the driver says, okay, lunch. And I'm like, okay. And then we're sitting there, and I'm like, we're already like 7 hours late by then. And I have all this like adrenaline and like I didn't sleep anything because the bed and everything.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, yeah, still recording here.
Yeah. And then and then I'm like 3 hours later in the lunch break, I'm going to the driver. I'm like just asking him polite. I'm like, so when are we thinking of leaving?
Yeah.
Like and then the other guy is like, and he's pointing at another guy. They always have like staff in the bus that doesn't do anything. They just sit there. I don't know why. And this guy has like these long nails like this. And he's like looking at me when I'm talking to him. And I'm like asking him. He's doing like this.
All right.
when I'm talking to him like this. I'm
Why?
getting so fucking angry. Like, I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, have I done anything bad to you?
Yeah.
And he's saying, no English, no English, no English. Maybe he thinks like I'm American or something, you know, like because of the war.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like,
oh yeah,
you know, maybe he has like maybe his grandfather died from Americans. I don't know, like it could be some history behind it why he treats like people like this.
Yeah.
But it's still like a tourist service, you know. Like,
Yeah.
But this is like another. This is just bad people in general. And then I'm getting like I'm like screaming to him. I'm like, why are you treating me like this? And he's like doing this.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like 1 hour later, we're going into the bus, and we can see the bus driver is going on another truck, and he's like waving like bye bye. We're like, what the fuck? And then we have another driver. So basically, maybe they were just changing driver or something.
Yeah.
And then we go in, and it's like I'm like of course I'm like getting to know all these people in the bus, and I'm asking them what like where they going, and they're saying yeah, because they were like splitting up us into parts, like people who go into south or north. So we were in the north bus station.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm getting like worried because I'm the only one who's going to Van Vieng, and they're going to Vientiane. Yeah, and that's like the more north part. So I'm going into the bus to the driver again. I'm like, Van Vieng, and he's like, no English. And it's like like the other guy, the same guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I'm like getting all worried, and then it's getting dark. This is crazy. And then I'm like, some hours later, we're having this break. They don't have a toilet in the bus, so you have to like piss outside and stuff. We're going outside, and then he's like pointing at my bag in the top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's my bag, like the new driver. And then one guy is jumping up. He's taking my bag. He's putting it in the lower like luggage room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's good because I'm going to Van Vieng apparently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is good. Like I had a good feeling about this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm going back. I'm getting like my first real sleep. I'm getting like 2 hours of sleep maybe.
Okay.
And then I'm like so fucking exhausted. And then I'm waking up in the night. It's like maybe 8 or 9 p.m. or something. And then the guys in the bus are screaming like Van Vieng.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, shit. I'm waking up. I'm like new way. Like I'm just like getting one of my bag. And then I'm looking outside. I'm going outside. And I'm like, yeah, this is not Van Vieng. This is not Van Vieng. Because I've been to Van Vieng. I'm like, this is not Van Vieng. Okay. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, Van Vieng. I'm like, no, it's not Van Vieng. And then one guy is like taking my shirt like this.
Yeah.
And he's trying to pull me off from the bus.
All right.
Yeah. And then the other guy is like almost trying to like push me out.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'm like out there with like 4 guys. And then I'm just thinking like I'm not gonna like go off on this place that I don't even know. It's like it's in the middle of the jungle in Laos.
Yeah.
In a small village.
Yeah.
Like, and then I can see one guy is fucking running out. He's opening the luggage room. He's taking my bag, and then he's like, BAM! Like far away from the bus. Like with all my passport, my bank, like everything that I have is in this bag.
Yeah.
From the luggage room. So I'm like kneeing the other guy. I'm like poof, kneeing him in the stomach, and then I'm like running like everything I have to get my bag.
Yeah.
And then once I'm like running out because he went away like far, and then he threw it out.
Yeah.
So it's maybe 25 meters out, and then the bus drives away.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm in the middle of the fucking jungle. This is fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
So my heart is like, I'm like, okay.
Wait. So you kicked one guy, but they didn't do anything?
No. They were like just happy that I went for my bag, and then they drove away.
Oh, I would have knocked them.
Yeah, but I was like, no, but it didn't matter because I had to get my bag.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, because I had my passport there, everything.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like in the jungle. I didn't know where I were. I didn't even have a phone back then when I was traveling.
Okay.
because my phone like it. I was doing like kayaking in a river and shit. Okay. But anyway, and then it broke down, and then I went to this like small house. It was open with Lao people. Yeah. Lao people are the fucking best people in the world. I think maybe my experience.
All right.
Like they're the 10th poorest country in the world. They're most like friendliest.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I'm like trying to I'm like running to him. One guy, I'm like trying to explain to him like, I've been thrown out from this bus, blah blah blah, and he's like, didn't understand anything, and then I'm getting all this panic. I take out my notebook and I'm like writing. I'm like writing a bus, like painting a bus. I mean, and I'm like the worst painter. I'm like doing like this like fucking bad like painting with a bus and me, and he was like, he didn't understand, and then eventually. 10 minutes later, I'm so fucking lucky. This minivan comes with like 10 workers or something, small Lao people, and they're like, and I'm like going to him. I'm like, Va please, can you help me? Can I go with you?
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And I'm like on my like knees. I'm like, please, can I go with you? And then he said, and then I said, Vientiane, another city. And then he said, yes. And I was like, can I go with you? He's like, yes. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then he's like, sit down. And they're always like very direct in Southeast Asia. They're like, you sit down. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting down. We're like having this amazing like food with all these people. Yeah, they were like cooking.
Yeah.
And then we're like maybe 13 people on the table. And I was saying, they didn't know like... nobody of them like could speak English.
Yeah.
So I was just speaking body language, and then I was making some. I know some like falang and all this kind of like. It means like foreigner, and I was like just making fun of me.
Yeah.
And then we were going with the minivan like 1 hour later to Vientiane, which is another 8 or 9 hours.
All right.
And I was sitting in the minivan with 10 unknown people. All this shit happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was just fucking laughing. I was like getting like a psycho, fucking crazy laugh. And I was like, this is so fucking surreal. Like, why me?
Yeah.
What have I done to like deserve this?
Yeah.
And then, and they're like smoking, playing like loud music. And then after we came to Vientiane 8 hours later, I'm like going to the guy, the driver.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here, take all my money. Like, cause I'm like, you saved my life.
Like all of the cash.
Yeah, everything I had. It was maybe 4,000, which is like 4 years salary in Laos, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I said, take everything. You saved my life. And then he said, he took out one bill, which is like 50 kroner, which is like 5 euros.
Okay.
Maybe $7, right?
Yeah.
Around. Yeah. And then he said, no, it's okay. And I was like, that was like the nicest thing someone done for me almost like in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like hugging him. I was fucking kissing him. I was like, I fucking love you. And then he showed me to a tuk-tuk driver. And the tuk-tuk driver took me to a place that I were, because I've been there before, right?
Yeah.
In Vientiane. I went to my hotel room.
Yeah.
I checked in like a nice hotel in the night. And I was like on my bed. I was like... And then everything from there just turned around to be like positive, like the best, like people helped me in a most surreal ways.
Yeah.
Do you believe in karma?
I used to say no, but I mean, there's something there, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess
it's interesting.
So you believe in karma?
No, maybe. I think it's just like the law of attraction.
Yeah.
In a way, you know what I mean? Like it's just the way you like, it's just logic if you treat people well and stuff. But I have hard to believe like in I think it's called dharma, maybe the afterlife karma or something, or like the life before, because like if you are born in forget.
Yeah, wait. Battery's up.
No, it's on.
Nej, den Back.
Nice.
Uh,
All right. Cool.
yeah, this one is still running too.
Check microphone.
So cool. You want some more?
The wine?
I don't have more wine.
Oh no, I'm good. The thing is, I don't believe in. I think it's weird to believe that. Let's say if someone are born handicapped as a child, like you're born right handicapped, right? Why does that person deserve to be like to have that handicap because of the things that person did before in his life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like why is that person getting punished for it? Because for me, I don't know. It's just a weird. I don't know. It's just strange for me.
I guess
to believe in.
No, I see that. I don't believe in anything superstitious.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I think I used to be that kind of person. So I used to believe in karma, but then was like, I'm a pretty nice person, but I don't really. I do get a lot of things like in return, but then it's like I can be a shitty person as well.
Yeah,
but still get good things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
just a matter of
like they have done this study about like, like high bosses in like United States and stuff.
Yeah.
In general, they have these personalities that they are psychopaths, for example, and they are getting like good karma, like they have been getting a lot of feedback, good money, but they basically are manipulating people. In general to get what they need, right? But I think like also like let's say if you and me in a situation, right? Like right now, I punch you in the face, right? Now.
Yeah.
And I say, because you have that's because you have bad karma. You know what I mean? You treat people bad in your afterlife something. No, that's why I punched you.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit strange, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I think I believe I don't know why people need to have this like super like deep
like
explanations about being. I think just like get born, try to do good, and then you die, and maybe you go somewhere, but you would never know. And then if you did, why would you regret anything?
Yeah.
Why do you need to have like, you know what I mean? I think
as long as you're like. As long as you're trying to be better as a person, as long as you're bettering yourself and doing good, try to do good in all like situations. I guess that's the way to live. I was close to being converted into like Christianity.
Oh, interesting.
For like a little while.
In Vietnam, they have a lot of Christians. Did you know that?
I think.
In some parts
are like everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
So
but actually the religion that's like decreasing is Buddhism, and the religion that increases is Islam. And I have a thought.
Or what?
No, in general in the world.
Okay.
I have a thought about that.
All right.
I think it has to do with like in like in Buddhism you have to. It's all up to you, right?
Yeah.
And there's not too many rules about like how to live, how to do. They still have the main like rules.
Yeah.
But it's still much about like you have to do all this stuff by yourself. You have to think yourself. You have to do all this stuff. But in conservative like religions in general, like this Christianity, like Orthodox Christianity, Islam, and all this. Like they tell you what to think and do, and it's way easier.
It is.
If someone said like you have to do this and that, and then
you just follow.
Yeah, it's easier.
I mean, most of the world population is followers, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's why we have religion,
but not in China so much.
They follow a lot.
Yeah, but they are ranked like the biggest like country that's
they're not
atheist.
But they're not religious.
They're spiritual. Yeah, they
spiritual,
have. Yeah, I know. They have this. What's the name again?
They believe in like Taoism.
Yeah, Taoism. Yeah,
and a lot of like different other stuff. And but most of them are kind of Buddhism, but it's not really Buddhism.
But also, it could have to do with communist times and stuff. You
That
weren't
too, yeah.
allowed to be like religious and stuff.
Yeah, so
So maybe they are like maybe they're getting back again to like more religious stuff. You know, like spiritual.
China is just like, I don't want to say anything bad about China, but it's a weird country. You know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
And
I think it is. It's not a. It could be like a.
no, I'm going
Good and
back
bad.
there. So I'm going back there soon.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
You're fucked,
Don't
man.
catch me.
I've been there twice. I'm
Okay.
good. No, but like
I want
I
to be in
think
good terms with China.
yeah. No, but I think you know, you can still be weird and good and weird and bad. I think most countries have good and like Sweden has a lot of weird stuff that we have
Oh yeah.
and a lot of good stuff. But I think like in Sweden, I'm very like proud a lot of stuff that we have here when once you traveled
Yeah.
that you take it off
For
granted.
sure.
Like there's so many stuff that I took for granted. Like even for water,
Yeah.
like we have like the most cleanest water almost in the world, and like you can drink from the tap.
Yeah.
And like have you drink even in Germany you can drink from tap. Have you tried German waters? Like from tap, it tastes like a swimming pool.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
no, like the tap water, like the best tap water I've drank is in Sweden.
Norway, where?
Or Norway, yeah. Sweden or
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure. Like even if
Ger-
you go in the north, it's even better. Like the
Oh yeah.
yeah, so it's like crazy.
Yeah, I mean you can drink tap water in several countries. Like you can even do.
I drink it in like countries that they say don't drink it.
That's bad.
Yeah, no, but I mean like they said you can drink it, but we are advising you to not to drink it.
Yeah,
So it's still drinkable, but it could have a chance that you can get like bacteria and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, but I think also to be grateful is important
yeah. It is.
in life.
And that's the way. That's why you need to travel, because
Exactly.
if you don't travel,
Yeah, exactly.
you get like caught up in the bubble.
Especially if you
and-
live in this country, like in a
Yeah.
rich country.
Yeah, and then you like your whole life is evolving around in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
area, and that's
I think it's actually dangerous
it's so dangerous. It's
to
so
be
bad.
like even. I think that's how you get like racist and all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Have these like conservative thoughts. Like in general, I think like once I traveled, I'm like really get to know like you know other people's way of thinking,
Yeah,
cultures, but also good and bad stuff that you like we said to be grateful for. Like here, like I remember I was in India, and then it's like man, it's India.
India is weird.
Yeah, like if you go to India, it's India. There's no other place like India. Like it's the dirtiest and craziest place on earth.
Yeah.
It's just another level of like dirty.
Yeah.
And then and then I came to Sweden. I remember I came from my trip, and then I was like on this like countryside with my friends going to Gothenburg.
Mm-hmm.
And we stopped by in this like toilet like place where you can like have a break and have like a snack or something. It's kind of like a small restaurant. And then I remember I went to the toilet and I'm like, wow, they have toilet paper in the toilet, and it's so fucking clean. Like this is the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's like, and we were not even going on like the highway.
Okay.
And then I was like, and they had like all these like machines and stuff, and I was like, wow, this is like luxury.
Mm-hmm.
But if I would never go to like these kind of countries, I would never even think about that thought.
Yeah.
I would just be like just normalized by the everything, and I would be like, yeah. And then I would even be maybe like this, like, why are they not having like better toilet paper?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're getting like
Just being like
these problems that that rich people have. You know what I mean? Like it's strange, right?
Yeah, see that.
Yeah. So I wanna say travel and and also to end up this stuff to how is it? Summarize this stuff is that I think get out of your comfort zone.
For sure.
it will involve you as a person, but also like you will get like I don't know. It's just
you broaden your perspective and just like your way of thinking in life.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Cool, man.
It's good. Nice.
Thank you
nice
for
talking
listening
to
to my fucking story.
That was a crazy story.
It was so long. I was like, every time I have to tell this story, I'm like, okay, are you actually ready to listen to it? It's a long story.
The funny thing is, you were like, "Oh, this is like 5 minutes," but I think you spoke you spoke for like an hour.
Minutes, yeah.
Yo, there was more than 30 minutes.
Whoa, wow, yeah. So
Almost an hour,
next episode, Vincent is gonna tell his craziest story when
I'm gonna talk about my stories
when he threw me out from the embassy. It was actually him. No, I'm kidding, man. Cool, man. Yeah. Peace.